at this point, if you're done, you can leave this. You can leave the property. Okay.
Okay, I'm not done. I literally have been here for less than 20 minutes.
Oh, so that's entirely too long to be sitting in the parking lot. Okay.
At a Wawa to eat my food?
Yeah, this is not a restaurant.
At a Wawa to eat my food. It is a gas station.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Call management and find out what you will, but you need to leave. Okay.
And why did you stop me? Other people are eating their food and sitting in their cars.
I didn't stop you. I approached you.
Why?
For prolonged sitting. Okay.
Prolonged sitting.
Yeah.
To eat food that I purchased here.
Yeah.
To eat food that I purchased here.
Hey, listen.
I've never had this issue at this Wawa or any of the other locations.
Okay. I do apologize for the inconvenience. Maybe I'm the only one that's doing my job as per my protocols, post protocols.
And what is the allotted time to be able to sit here and eat?
Maybe I spoke with one of the assistant managers or site whatever managers, and we decided on maybe 15 minutes.
I may be quitting van life. I may be giving up on the last 4 years of my life and everything that I've been preaching about. And it's not for the reasons you think. It's not because of burnout. It's not because we hate living this way. It's because... Before we get into all of the reasons why we might be quitting van life and why I personally don't think van life is as sustainable as it used to be, I want to give a little bit of a backstory. We started off living in our 2005 Honda Pilot with over 300,000 miles due to the housing crisis after the lockdown. At that time, van life was really trending online, but it was a very romanticized version, and many people weren't talking about the majority of van lifers and vehicle dwellers that do it out of necessity. I got a hard dose of reality very early on because we started off doing van life in Florida, and I'm here to tell you that especially St. Pete, Tampa Bay area is not van life friendly. There are plenty of Karens, and the city itself just does not want any van lifers or vehicle dwellers to exist. It is so incredibly degrading and dehumanizing to be homeless while you're still working class homeless, and you and your partner make way above the median threshold to qualify for housing vouchers or any type of government assistance, and yet you're both working very hard while living in a vehicle, which is not easy, and you're being criminalized, you're being targeted by law enforcement, security, the city doesn't want you around, and you were a local that got priced out of housing. So I don't know where that leaves a lot of people. And it's not just about van lifers. Cities across the U.S. are cracking down on people sleeping in vehicles. In some states, it's literally illegal. Even if you're not houseless, just living on the road, I mean, you're still a target. So these cities and these laws do not look at whether you work. They don't look at your income. They don't care if you're doing this because, hey, if I spend $2,000 to $3,000 a month on rent, I won't have a savings in order to save up for my future. They don't look at it that way. If you live in a vehicle, it does not matter your tax bracket. They simply don't want you there. But it gets worse. Many of the places that we rely on, like free public lands and BLM land and national forest, are being sold off. Under bills like the West Act, millions of acres of BLM land are now up for potential sale, and it's not just the West. Here in the East, protections like the 2001 Roadless Rule, which I have mentioned in previous videos, are being attacked. Places like Pisgah and Nantahala, where we hike, park, breathe, and live, they're no longer safe from development. Unfortunately, the big beautiful bill was passed, and regardless of how you feel about this current administration, it really seems like it's going to get more difficult for a lot of working class people. My last video got quite a bit of engagement, and I'm going to have some of the comments and discourse up on the screen while I discuss this. A lot of van lifers and vehicle dwellers are not fully nomadic. They have regular jobs, they just simply cannot afford the cost of living anymore. And of course, I'm sure people will say we'll move somewhere cheaper. Where is cheaper? Because the average pay for jobs in a city is relative to the cost of living there. So it's incredibly difficult to get a higher paying job with a lower cost of living in the same area. I have never been fully nomadic. My husband and I currently stay in one region, one area. He has a regular job, and it's not just a job, it's a career with a lot of promise. He's had a lot of growth. He enjoys his job, and we love this area and want to end up settling down here. But in order to be able to save money and take care of ourselves, we live in our van. Could we potentially afford a rental in this area right now? Yes, but it would take up a huge chunk of our income. And if we have a medical emergency or a vehicle emergency, because we would still need a vehicle, this is not a walkable area, we would not have a savings for that. We would be back to being paycheck to paycheck. So a lot of people say, well, if you're getting harassed, stop doing van life. So then I go back to being paycheck to paycheck, house broke, rent broke, whatever you want to call it. And then if I have an emergency, I risk being right back where I am, but I've lost everything financially. Now I'm back to where I started in the very beginning, living in a vehicle with no money. And it was very, very tight and very, very scary. So I look at the bigger picture. I look ahead. I think people always look for simple solutions to very complicated problems. Another thing I wanted to address, people say, why don't you just get a campground? Why don't you just get a campsite where you're allowed to be overnight and then you won't be harassed? That's twofold. Campgrounds and campsites are not that affordable anymore. At least not in the regions that I've lived in. If you added up the campsite fees on a daily or weekly basis, it would be just as much as rent in most cases, especially if you want water or power. Now, as far as not getting harassed if you're sleeping where you're allowed to, the majority of the harassment I've encountered has not been while we're sleeping somewhere overnight. It has been daylight hours, middle of the day, at public parks where I'm allowed to be like everybody else, grocery shopping, at a Walmart, at a gas station where I got gas, ate my food, and I'm going to show you some of those clips now, and you can let me know what you think of it. All right, I just got some Wawa. I've literally been here for maybe 10, 20 minutes. And the security has now come over to my van. So let's see what they have to say.
Top of the morning to you. So yeah, there is a policy for sale, okay?
Okay.
And I'm glad that I'm being recorded. Awesome.
No worries.
All right. So yeah, at this point, if you're done, you can leave this. You can leave the property. Okay.
Okay. I'm not done. I literally have been here for less than 20 minutes.
Oh, so that's entirely too long to be sitting in the parking lot. Okay.
At a Wawa to eat my food?
Yeah, this is not a restaurant.
At a Wawa to eat my food. It is a gas station.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Call management and find out what you will, but you need to leave. Okay.
And why did you stop me? Other people are eating their food and sitting in their cars.
I didn't stop you. I approached you.
Why?
For prolonged sitting. Okay.
Prolonged sitting.
Yeah.
To eat food that I purchased here.
Yeah.
To eat food that I purchased here.
Hey, listen.
I've never had this issue at this Wawa or any of the other locations.
Okay. I do apologize for the inconvenience. Maybe I'm the only one that's doing my job as per my post protocols.
And what is the allotted time to be able to sit here and eat?
Maybe I spoke with one of the assistant managers or site whatever managers, and we decided on maybe 15 minutes. Yeah,
okay.
It's still 15 minutes. That's not set in stone. 15. That was just something I was curious about.
Okay.
It's I feel like it's entirely too long. So 5 minutes would be idyllic for an individual to get in their vehicle after walking out of the store, figure out which way they're going to go.
To eat my food? Yeah. I'm not allowed to eat food that I purchased here? Sir,
Again, this
I'm
is not a restaurant.
Sir.
Okay, so once you purchase your things, just like any other store you would arrive to, you get in your vehicle, decide which route you're going to go. If you already don't have a destination in mind and you beat it, okay?
You can call law enforcement.
Okay. So are you refusing to leave at this time? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm eating my food and then I will leave.
Are you refusing to leave? And if you notice, perhaps there is other people that are sitting in the parking lot, but due to your attitude, I can care less. All right. So again, you need to leave, and if you're refusing, I will, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Yep, I'm refusing.
All right. Very good. Have a good day.
Oh, Wawa. I have never had an issue here. I love my Wawa. And I can't imagine, it must be because of the vehicle that I'm driving. I have a large van. It must be because of that vehicle that I'm driving. And that's why he stopped me. I have never had an issue at any other Wawa. My food is still hot. My food is still so warm that I can barely bite into it. And I got a coffee. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. This is the type of shit I'm talking about doing van life. This is exactly what I'm talking about doing van life. Being a regular person doing van life, getting accosted for being in a parking lot for too long. It's up. It's up. And it's crazy because I guarantee you this dude's salary, he's barely able to afford to live in this city. And he's going to harass someone who's in a van eating their food. This is insane. So here's my receipt. It is now 12:40. I bought the food at 12:12. Now that does not mean that's when it was ready. I had to pay for it and then wait for it to be ready. My food is still hot. Everyone, please let me know. Information. It is 3650 34th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33713.
You said at Wawa?
Yes.
Okay. What actually happened?
So I was there at 12 p.m. today. I ordered my food at 12:12. I still have the timestamp on my receipt. I proceeded to my vehicle in the parking lot. I was sitting in the driver's seat with my windows up, taking a personal phone call while I was eating my food. No less than 15-20 minutes later, the security guard goes up to my window, knocks on the door, tells me I need to move along. I have the rest of it all recorded on video. He tells me that it is policy that you can't be there at the Wawa for longer than 15 minutes, that it's not a restaurant, I can't eat my food there. I tell him, he says he's going to get the manager. I say go ahead. He ends up calling law enforcement. He has law enforcement tell me that I have to leave. I just got off the phone with Rob, the manager of that location. He says he was never informed of the incident. He said there's absolutely no reason why I couldn't sit there and eat in my car. People do it all the time. So you have a rogue security guard making up his own rules at a Wawa, a corporate establishment with their own policies.
Okay, I do apologize about that. I'll go ahead and provide that to the commander so she can go ahead and have a talk with him about that situation.
Thank you so much.
The manager for the site was what's his name?
Rob.
Rob.
He was incredibly helpful. He was astounded that that took place, and he said that shouldn't have happened.
Okay, I'll make sure I let them know of that also.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What was your name?
Kyla?
Kyla? Okay, I just want to make sure I have all the information to provide them.
No worries.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
And just so you know, if there's any discrepancies, I do have me and the security guards communication on video, as well as when the cops were called.
Okay, what's your telephone number? Okay, thank you so much. If we need the video, we'll go ahead and give you a call so you can send it over.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
People think that van life is freedom, but freedom doesn't work without public space, without places to rest, park, exist. If public land is sold and cities make it illegal to sleep in your vehicle, what's left? For van lifers, for hikers, for folks just trying to survive. I don't want to quit van life, but I don't want to stay silent either, because if we lose these lands, if we lose our rights, we lose more than just parking spots. We lose part of what makes us free. If this video resonated with you at all, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. We do van life content, travel vlogs, hiking, and I also have a podcast called The Knock Waking Up Van Life, where we talk about this in great detail with my co-host Bunny and beyond. Stay safe out there and don't get bamboozled.